couple of nights ago, several of us was out having dinner, and one of my colleagues came up to me and he said, you know, I'm not really like that, but I have to vote for this because I can't go home if I don't vote for it. He said, voting for the flag, I had to run and hide my wife and kids because they were upset and mad at me because I voted for the flag. And I was sitting there and I was thinking about those statements, and I was sitting back there and I began to think about my mom and how she walked in the marches for civil rights change and how they threw rocks and bricks at her, and she kept walking because she knew change had to prevail. And the term that comes to mind to me is courage. Courage that you use to make change. We live in uncomfortable times sometimes. Sometimes we have to be bold enough to say, your actions will not dictate my action. I am strong enough inside. My convictions are stronger than yours, and I am for change. It takes courage to stand up in adversity. You can be fearful of what could happen, but every time I've seen a bully, and every time I have stood up to a bully, they back down. It takes courage to take a tough vote, to do what is right and not what folks want you to do. The gentlelady from Jones talked about Robert Johnson selling his soul to the devil. Be careful how you play your guitar. The gentleman from Jefferson talked about the conviction of his mom teaching him the importance of understanding your history, so when adversity came, you would have the courage to do the right thing. We have come here time and time again to make tough decisions. And we need to have the courage to do the right thing. Courage is such a valuable asset. There are 6 types of courage. There's physical courage to keep going with balance and awareness and resiliency. There's social courage to be yourself unapologetically. There's moral courage, doing the right thing even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. There's emotional courage, feeling your emotions, positive and negative, without guilt or attachment. There is intellectual courage, to learn, unlearn, and relearn with an open and flexible mind. And then there's spiritual courage, living with a purpose and a meaning through a heart-centered approach toward life and oneself. See, they're all forms of courage. I'm asking you to exhibit one of those forms of courage. I'm asking you to show that you are not just a person sent up here to do what other folk donate to you to do, but the right thing to move our state forward. It takes courage. It takes courage to stand up in adversity when your family has been threatened. We had members doing tort reform where their wives were being seen by OBGYNs, laying on the table, being examined. How you gonna vote on tort reform? And it took courage for that person to hold up to their convictions. A banker in my hometown called me and said I needed to support tort reform. Called me and told me he was going to call in every loan I had. My house, my cars, whatever. I said, you ain't got to call them in. I will bring them to you Friday when I get home. I give you the keys to my house and the title to my truck. And then I'm going to walk my tail around the corner and stand on City Hall steps and call the press, and I'm going to tell them why I don't have a house and why I don't have a car. Courage. Courage changed that moment. And he apologized publicly for violating that line. Sometimes you just got to have courage. Sometimes you just got to stand on your convictions and weather the storm. The winds may blow, the seas may rise, but if you stand on your convictions, if you use courage and stand on your convictions, they can't touch you. When you stand up for what's right and they know that you are brave and you have courage, they will back away. Don't allow outside agitators and bullies to steal your courage. This is what this is about. Courage to do the right thing. We have come so far. We have come so far, but yet we have far to go. Don't allow this moment to unrail our growth. Use your courage. I implore you to use your courage. You got 6 reasons to stand up on it. Use it. And the bully will bag away. Please vote against this.